Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Welcome to Fusion Mobile Commerce Clinic. In our introduction to commerce, what exactly is commerce? Commerce can simply be defined as all the activities involved in the distribution and exchange of goods and services. In other words, commerce is a branch of production which is concerned with the distribution, exchange of goods and services, and all activities which assist or facilitate trade. For example, banking, insurance, transportation, communication, tourism, etc. It is the process of buying, selling, and distributing goods and services. The process of living involves three major activities, which includes production, consumption, and exchange. The central focus of commerce is exchange. In a commercial sense, exchange would concentrate on the transfer of goods and services from their producers to the customers. Commerce is therefore concerned with trade and activities which assist trade. These activities include the distribution of raw materials to manufacturers and finished products from the factory to the consumers. Commerce involves time, place, and utilities. Commerce developed as a result of specialization. Now, talking about the scope of commerce, as we can see there, it's divided into trade and aids to trade. And under trade, we have home trade, the foreign trade. And under home trade, we have the retail trade and the wholesale trade. While under foreign trade, we have the export, the import, and the entreport. The home trade, which is under trade, is a branch of commerce that comprises wholesale trade and retail trade. It is the act of buying and selling of goods and services within a geographical area of a nation, and it is also referred to as domestic or internal trade. Home trade uses the same currency as it is sold within a country, while foreign trade, which is comprised of export, import, and entreport. Entreport is the process of importing goods and services for re-exporting to other countries. It is also referred to as re-export trade. While export is the sale of goods to other countries, these goods could comprise of raw materials and finished goods. The goods or services are paid for in foreign currencies. Export trade can be visible or invisible. For example, in Nigeria, cocoa and palm oil represent visible trade, while invisible trade include banking, aviation, and the rest. Import is the act of buying goods and services from other countries. Goods are imported either in response to direct orders or on consignment. Import can be visible or invisible. Examples of imported goods in Nigeria include electronics, automobiles, and the rest. Now, we also have to talk about the differences between home trade and foreign trade, because as we can see, they are not the same. Foreign trades, their goods are moved beyond geographical boundaries, while the home trade, goods are moved within the same country. Under foreign trade, different currencies are used, while home trade, one currency is used. There is language barrier in foreign trade, but there is no language barrier in home trade. More complex documentation is required in foreign trade, while less documentation is required in home trade. Different weights and measures are in use in foreign trade, while the same weights and measures are in use in home trade. Different social standards, rules and regulations are in use in foreign trade, while the same social standard, rules and regulations are in use in home trade. Transport cost is higher in foreign trade, while transport cost is lower in home trade. Foreign trade is subject to restrictions, while goods move freely within a country. These are the differences between home trade and foreign trade. Now talking about aids to trade. Aids to trade are those ancillaries to trade. They are the commercial activities which facilitate trade. And this trade, as we know, comprises of buying and selling. Aids to trade make trade possible. They are so fundamental to trade that trading activities cannot progress without them. Aids to trade are banking, insurance, transport, advertising, warehousing, communication, and tourism. Talking about insurance. Insurance is a security made against loss. It is a protection against loss or liabilities suffered in the day-to-day business operation. In return for premiums, individuals and corporate organizations are compensated for losses arising from fire, flood, accident, etc. Insurance is an essential element in local and international trade. The traders who suffer losses are restored to their former position or status through compensation. Talking about communication as an aid to trade. Communication is a means of sending and receiving information from one place to another. Suppliers and customers can be easily linked together through communication services. For example, telephone, telex, internet, email, etc. The development of telecommunication systems has also eased and hastened contacts between people within commercial centers and all over the world. Tourism aids trade by providing tourist trading opportunities at tourist centers. Many people from different countries can converge in a country because of its tourist attraction. This will definitely increase trading activities. Warehousing as an aid to trade is a process which ensures that goods produced are stored until they are needed. Warehousing as an important aspect of commerce aimed at seeing that there is a regular and steady supply of goods. Since a manufacturer produces goods in advance, they need warehouse to store the goods ahead of demand. It ensures that there is no fluctuation in the price of goods. Warehouses can be ordinary, bonded, public, etc. Transport. Transportation provides the means of carrying raw materials, finished goods and people from one place to another, either by road, sea, rail, pipe or air. Improved means of transportation have brought about a speedy or faster diffusion of ideas and expansion of the industrial areas. Advertising. Advertising is the process of creating awareness in the minds of the public about the existence of a product. Advertising may be used to stimulate demand so as to increase sales. It ensures that customers are aware of the existence and availability of a particular product and they are persuaded to buy it. Advertising can take many forms: through press, catalogs, free samples, trade fair, exhibition, window display, television, radio, and all others. Banking as an aid to trade makes trading possible by making funds available. The banks are financial institutions which makes funds available to assist people in their daily purchases and capital for embarking on industrial activities. They make funds available in the form of loans and overdrafts. Banks also accept savings from the people. Examples of banks are commercial banks, merchant banks, mortgage banks, and others. Functions of commerce. By functions of commerce, we mean that thing that commerce helps to achieve, and they include the mass production of goods and services, raising of capital, employment opportunities, transport, warehousing functions, unity among nations, risk bearing, improvement in standard of living, exchange of goods and services, creation of public awareness, linkage to buyers and sellers, creation of wealth for sellers. By mass production of goods and services, commerce facilitates mass production, and thus people all over the world can enjoy goods and services produced both within and outside their countries. In raising of capital as a function of commerce, it facilitates the raising of capital for individual needs and investment through the services of banks and other financial institutions. In employment opportunity, it offers employment opportunities to a large number of people such as traders, bankers, insurance brokers, etc. In transport, it assists in moving people, raw materials, and finished goods from production points to consumption points through transport. Warehousing functions. Warehousing functions. It facilitates the storage of goods until they are needed, thus bridging the gap between demand and supply in the market. Talking about unity among nations as a function of commerce, it fosters unity among nations. Thus, nations become interdependent and they engage in trading activities. Improvement in standard of living. The availability of variety of goods and services leads to improvement in standard of living and quality of life of people. In risk bearing, the availability of insurance companies encourages entrepreneurs to venture into various business activities. In exchange of goods and services, it facilitates the exchange of goods and services. Commerce facilitates the exchange of goods and services through transportation. Transportation could be by road, rail, sea, air, and the rest, and also by telecommunication services. Creation of public awareness as a function of commerce makes the public aware of the availability of goods and services through advertising. Linkage of buyers to sellers. Commerce through communication links buyers and sellers together to do business without physical contact. Creation of wealth for nations. Commerce helps to create wealth for nations, as duties are charged on goods and services either exported or imported.